Hey guys, we are back with episode 2 of Frosty Kiss, and we're gonna resume where I just finished reading. I'm gonna read it again, then we're gonna continue. Let's do this. I guess this is the time. I guess this is the first time in about 5 to 7 years I find myself in a high spirits on the eve of New Year. Today, I enjoy myself rather than stay buried like a mole within the four walls, forcing my eyes not to miss a moment. The clock in the corner of the screen marks the beginning of another cycle of seasons I couldn't tell the difference between. It's all thanks to the girls. It's been a while since the day we all met. Though up to now, we've been hanging out together and visiting each other pretty often as if we were old friends. Well, perhaps it is the truth after all. But can we even call everything that happened to us real? Or was it just a bright and vivid dream our company shared? Though it mattered not now. Though the more important thing is the lesson we've learned from this dream. The hard, hard, the hand on the clock was approaching the 10 p.m. mark. Relentlessly, Lena and Slavia were having a chat and rattling dishes in the kitchen. Oil was sizzling on the pan, and some meat was baking in the oven, filling the kitchen with appetizing savor as the serving of the festive table was reaching its end. Lots of trumpery was hanging from each and every corner I've reached. Garlands were winking with the bright colors, and dolls' glassware was glistening from the branches of the New Year's tree. The scent of tangerine and pine needles served as the complement of the elevated atmosphere of holiday, just like in a good old days of child. Juliana and Alyssa ran outside, having a strong intention to try and explode contents of the bag that was filled to the limit. Masha was lying on the sofa and seemed to be falling asleep. I was sitting in an old armchair, staring aimlessly at the TV, where a bunch of snow oh, bunch of snow, where a bunch of show stars in brightly colored dresses, Hollywood smiles shining on their faces, were wishing their audience Happy New Year. That must be them over there. Yeah. Though at that very moment, I had not the slightest intention to notice any of their in, any of their historic behavior. All I wanted to see was a noisy celebration of holidays with cheerful people and their never-fading smiles. Oops. And I wanted to believe that in their countless wishes of happiness and health, and that every wish would undoubtedly come true this time at least. My eyes accidentally caught a sight of some kind of little dark box lying on the floor. Juliana's firecrackers. At the same time, a mobile phone rang somewhere in the kitchen. Slavia. You want me to drop them? Nah, climb up and take them by yourself. Wait, it's a girl voice. Let me do it. I won't drop them to you. Okay. Simeon, go down and give me those firecrackers to Juliana. She's left them somewhere in the room. Thoughts were moving slowly in my head if my mind was enfolded in some haze, and I didn't want to leave this soft and cozy armchair. Though why don't I go out and breathe some fresh air? My stomach needs to take a break from those tempting smells anyway. I'm gonna go downstairs to Juliana. Though it was stuffy in the apartment, Simeon, I'll go for a walk, I said to the girls in the kitchen and left the apartment, shuffling on my coat. Oh, look, we're outside. There's a giant Christmas tree and some buildings. So it looks like kind of like apartment complexes. And look, there's a little playground around. Looks like a children's place in the middle of these apartment community. Let's just go. The street greeted me with noises from every corner. Someone was launching fireworks, children were playing with peg tops, little toys that were spinning and launching sheaves of multicolored sparkles. Juliana and Alyssa were setting up huge fireworks that was probably equipped with at least 30 shots, as the box wasn't a small one. I'm afraid to imagine what cut off our budget was spent on this insanity. Juliana, got it. Instead of answering, I showed her the small box. Give it here. Juliana snatched the box from out of my hands. Well, now we're gonna rock this night, she said with a twinkle in her eye, just like a small child. She was probably thinking of something to blow up this whole time. Why'd you buy them? You could make it yourself. It isn't the first time for you after all. If looks could kill, there'd be just a small pile of ash left under Alyssa's incinerating glare. You're such a jackass, Simeon. What's wrong? Victorious capitalism prevailed over the young chemist? Old habits still turned up in the worst time possible, and now I realized I unwillingly teased Alyssa. Alright, I'm sorry. Don't blow up. Hands raised themselves in reconciling gestures. Would you for one stop apologizing in an upcoming year? Maybe. Just don't get mad at me. She tiredly waved me aside and chillily shrugged. I'm gonna get warm. Freeze yourself if you want to. My coat wasn't the most frostproof. Blah. My coat wasn't the most can't say that word. One, which is why I started to freeze as soon as I left the porch and felt the first wind blast. Just as I wanted to go back into the apartment, I was acutely pulled by the sleeve. Hey. Who's gonna launch the fireworks? And there's still some firecrackers left. Who to choose? I want to be a nice guy and, I'm gonna help her launch the fireworks. Perhaps I should stay. Simeon. Alyssa, you can go back while we prepare for the launch. I pointed my finger to the bag with firecracker cylinders out of it. Well, you're a numbskull after all. I think she was subliminally hinting at something right there. No, I'm not gonna say what it is because I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious. This is just like any old anime. She snorted, turned around expressly and toggled. I can't read. She snorted, turned around expressly, and trudged back to the apartment. You got what you wanted. I'm a numbskull now? Juliana just giggled behind my back in response, and my neck was instantly bit by billions of icy needles. It's not me. It's the grammar in this thing. Some of the grammar is a little off. I think it's because it's not probably originally in English, but that's okay. Ah, you red-headed piece of. Without even turning around, I carefully drooped, trying to cover myself from incoming snowballs with one hand while scooping some snow and making a snowball with the other. Hey, that's not fair. She didn't even let me turn around, aiming at my head and quite frequently hitting it. Will you stop that already? Nope. She lost focus just for a moment after two life-saving jumps. I utilized that nearby bushes as cover. The nearby bushes as cover. The stern battle raged on. By dodging snowballs, I managed to warm myself up pretty nice. I no longer wished I had gone with Alyssa.